माता का रूप एक अपनी बेटी में देखना, I feel it is very very need and important that a girl child is taught to look into her own finances at a very very young age. If you want to see how a country is doing, you should look at the condition of the women of the country. If only they are fine themselves, they can do it all for others. Oh my God, I was like this full-on platter. So that beauty comes out of deep innate strength and belief in oneself.
Hi, this is Sheetal and you are watching Pink Villa. On today's episode of Devi, the Empowering, we are celebrating women who are not only strong and empowered themselves but also believe in empowering the society and in true sense are the real form of goddess Lakshmi. My guest today is someone who makes everyone's heart goes chamma chamma with her masoom smile and khoobsurat adaye. Let's welcome Lakho Dilon ki Dharkan from the 90s, the one, the only Urmila Matondkar. Welcome to Pink Villa, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Sheetal, for such a lovely intro.
Thank you so much for being here, ma'am, because honestly, it's such a fangirl moment for me. From the 90s till now, right? The meaning of empowerment has changed over these years. What's your take on that?
See, basically, I feel somewhere down the line, my introduction to this empowerment of women happened, I think, right at my birth. Because I remember the story that I sometimes tell my friends. When my mother had gone for her second pregnancy, I'm the second child, and my father had told her that this time, जब वापस आना मुझे लक्ष्मी लेके आना. So the thought that a daughter to look for a मतलब माता का रूप एक अपनी बेटी में देखना, इस सोच के घर में मेरी I was born in a house like that, you know, which is an amazing thing, and that is why I think somewhere down the line I take it upon myself to pass that blessing on to other women who probably didn't have that kind of a childhood or that kind of a house in which women are celebrated, girl child is celebrated. So we have come a long way since our independence till the 90s, and from the 90s till now, almost like 30 years, but few things have changed greatly and few things remain to be still changed. What has changed definitely is that women themselves have realized the power which lies with themselves, you know, which is the most important and the very first step of empowerment for any woman, I feel. True. And I think over the years, even the women in films have the kind of roles they have done, the way they have projected themselves as well. They are, like you rightly said, not only what you call it, a symbol of glamour and beauty, but empowerment, because they speak their mind, they stand up for themselves in their houses, outside, in the industry that they work in. So that and many fields have opened to women. So that taboo that this is not for women has gone for a big toss, which is great. Women-oriented films have become more often, which I'm again very happy. I was one of the few women who took really great risks in terms of my choice of roles, which which spoke about different women. Like I did a Bhoot, which was a Today's Day woman, and I did a Pinjar, which was in a pre-independence era. But both the women had their mindsets, and they are a symbol of women empowerment, especially Puro in Pinjar, who stands up and who says, okay, once my life was not in my hand, but today this is my choice and I want to live this way. So all of those things have been a huge journey for women in general in India. But what remains to have still been achieved is like small nuances, and I still feel sad about the fact that beyond the metro cities and the cities beyond that, the second tier, third tier, beyond that, things need to be majorly uplifted still. So that thought that a daughter is a burden, that a daughter has to be this, that I feel the way the daughters look after their parents, there cannot be a second parallel. My apologies to all the men behind the cameras and the one who are watching. There might be a few exceptions, but the way they look after their, a daughter means responsibility, not to be looked at as a responsibility, but someone who takes up as a responsibility on herself without being told to do so. So to me, being a woman itself is so very empowering, that I think it would be a pity if I don't pass it on to other women in whatever little ways or big ways that I possibly can. I feel even today, women's education remains a very, very big issue on which I am personally working extremely hard, because I feel education is your very first step towards your freedom, you know, and of course the financial independence. That is one thing that women still need to know, that they need to have it along with the education, you know, those two things together, and then there is no stopping.
Absolutely. You know how you said that your parents told that Lakshmi aayegi ghar pe, and the fact that we are celebrating goddess Lakshmi today in this episode, how beautiful is that?
Absolutely. This feels like a full circle.
Full circle. You know, when you mentioned that you've done roles that are different, right? Because you've broken those stereotypes and you've played strong characters who are independent.
Yes.
Right? But tell me something, back in the day, the norms were different, right? So was it difficult to get these kind of roles?
Well, not really. Actually, it's all about your choices. Even then, I mean, I'm not saying I'm the only one. Even before me, people like, actresses like, I mean, it's been there since Hindi films started, you know. There has been a Pakiza, there has been Jaya Bachchan ji, there is Wahida Rahman ji, so many of them, and the great Sri Devi, of course, that they all have played roles in their own ways, which were, and of course there has been the very wonderful Shabana Azmi ji and Smita Patil as well. All of them, you know, they have done their own bit. But like for me, what's really interesting is that, like I say, that, you know, if you look at it from distance, it seems like, oh, they are these glamour goddesses. But no, I think they are women in their own rights, who put forward the card of women empowerment, not only on screen, but off screen as well.
Yeah. The way you mentioned that people think girls are not independent, okay? Because if imagine there's an electrical काम at घर, people say that, अरे ये तुम कैसे कर सकते हो? ये तो लड़कों का काम है. Right? So what's your take on that?
Well, I think it's a both-sided scene. There are a lot of women also who would rather have all the perks of being a woman, and then when it comes to all the jobs and all the chores and all, can be, you know, they can just say, okay. I think it's nature has given us a balance of everything. So if we pretty much try to balance it, I think that pretty much follows. So I would rather that men are like men are supposed to be, and women are like the way women are supposed to be, which doesn't mean that they think of themselves as the weaker or a quieter or whatever self, and nor vice versa. But I honestly feel if you understand the basic beauty of being born as a woman, you automatically don't think of yourself like, I know so many things, you know, that I learned even riding a bike at the age of 17, you know, which was just out of curiosity that I just wanted to learn it. You know what I'm trying to say? So basically women also need to know that being independent also means knowing a lot of things. Why are you talking even only about electronical things? Even their finances.
Yes.
I feel it is very, very neat and important that a girl child is taught to look into her own finances at a very, very young age, you know, in life. So everything is, it's not one, dimensional. It has many, many dimensions. So women do need to understand that when they want to stand up for their right, they need to also, stand by and understand the larger perspective of it all.
True. You know, I honestly feel that this term feminism is defined by different people in a different way.
Absolutely.
So, what's your definition of feminism?
To me, a woman at the back and beyond of a Rajasthan and a Bihar and a UP, who runs her household, who cooks on a chulha, who also probably गाय का दूध भी निकालती है, घर भी अपना वो काव डंग से साफ भी करती है, कुछ जगहों पे अभी भी वो होता है. She is as empowered as a CEO who is sitting at the multinational company and taking the decisions on the table. And this I've said 25 years ago when Pinjar was releasing, this I'll say today, and this I'll say even after 20 years. It doesn't matter where the woman is. It matters what is it that she's doing as a woman, as a woman of that house, first as a daughter, then as a woman, then as a mother. So those are the parts which are all actually the parts which not only makes up a house, it makes up a society, and it eventually makes up a country, you know. That's why they say that if you want to see how a country is doing, you should look at the condition of the women of the country. So that is why for me, a housemaker is as big or probably bigger, because she doesn't even, poor thing, ever gets the due. That, you know, like my mother has been both a housemaker and a working woman, but it is a very wrong concept that housemakers don't do much. I think they are as, but they need to realize that उनमें खुद में कितनी पावर है, ये जब वो खुद समझेंगी तब वो अगेन उनकी बेटियों को, दूसरी बेटियों को, अपनी बहुओं को ये चीज़ देगी. जैसे मेरे घर में मेरी माँ ने कभी नहीं ये चाहा कि उनकी बहू घर पे बैठे और होम मेकिंग करे. उन्होंने ये सोचा कि अगर मेरी बहू इतनी सीखी है, उसके पेरेंट्स ने उनको इतना सिखाया है, तो उन्हें भी काम करने की इजाज़त मिलनी चाहिए. ये चॉइस उनका होना चाहिए. सो ये सारी जो चीज़ें हैं वो धीरे धीरे ही सही समाज को बदलती है, और वो करने का अगर वक्त अभी नहीं है तो कभी नहीं होगा. सो जो औरतें जहाँ पे भी कहाँ पे भी है, उनको अपने अंदर की वो क्षमता और वो पावर समझने की आज बहुत ज़रूरत है.
You know, ऐसा लगता है कि क्योंकि societal conditioning is done in such a way, we feel women undervalue themselves.
Absolutely.
Right? So how do you think we should gather the inner strength and overcome these challenges and move ahead?
Sadly, somewhere down the line, women got lost in translation, because most of the scriptures and most of the things are written by men, and it has been a man-dominated world, so to say. But the good part, and I think the first step for all of this, which I always say, is a woman standing up for another woman. The day that will start, you know, in any and every field of our lives, can be in media, can be in, you know, everywhere. Our again, starts at home. Yeah. If and when that starts, nothing can stop them, because a woman always puts herself at the end, you know, at the, even when I speak out, even in a social norm, it is whether that is their health, it is whether it is looking after themselves, it is where any, and of course most of them have financial restraints, so their health, their comforts, everything comes at the end, because it's the husband, it's the in-laws, it's the parents, and then it's of course the children. And it is right to look after all of them. They need to understand, if only they are fine themselves, they can do it all for others. And that another woman needs to tell one woman that we need to do that, you know. And in that, I feel somewhere down the line, because we are talking about Ma Lakshmi, the finances play a very important role, you know, that's why women being financially independent is a very, very big key even today, in whatever little ways that they want to be. And that, I think, it's high time for women to understand.
Talk to me about your journey in the politics. When you entered, were you stereotyped as, "Arey, ye to actor hai"? Have you heard something like this?
Oh my God, I was like this full-on platter. Everything was on the platter. भैया मैं तो एक्ट्रेस भी हूँ, मैं तो फिर ठीक ठाक दिखती भी हूँ, फिर एक सेक्सी वाला टैग भी था, सब कुछ था. सो मुझे तो कोई ऐसी व्यक्ति ही नहीं होगी जिसने मुझे राइट ऑफ नहीं किया. उसमें कुछ फीमेल पॉलिटिशियंस थे, उसमें कुछ एक्ट्रेसेस भी थी, बेचारी बहुत ही कम समझ की और कम अकल की होंगी कि जिन्होंने अपनी होमवर्क किए बगैर मेरे पे टिप्पणियाँ की होंगी, बिकॉज द जोक एट द एंड ऑफ इट ऑल वाज ऑन देम, नॉट ऑन मी, बिकॉज आई न्यू व्हाट आई वाज गेटिंग एट द टेबल. लिटरली दे डिडंट नो, एंड दैट इज द होल ब्यूटी ऑफ इट ऑल. एंड दोज आर द स्टीरियोटाइप्स आई एम हियर टू टेल ईच वन ऑफ यू टू ब्रेक. जिंदगी में कभी आपको ये किसी और को नहीं कहना पड़ना चाहिए कि आप क्या कर सकते हो. ये डिसीजन सिर्फ आप लीजिए अपने आप के लिए. देयर इज नेवर अ टाइम एंड प्लेस और एज और स्टेज एट विच यू cannot decide कि only you have to decide what you want to do. So when I broke into politics, first of all, I had no reason to, except for I definitely want to be the change and see the changes that I want to see in the society. And I think, unfortunately or fortunately, time has come where just by being on the outskirts, it's not going to help. You have to be right in the middle of it all and do your little bit, you know. So one of my little bits is telling women around me that you decide what you want to be and when you want to be. So number one, that is a very, very important point that women should always remember, that people will always be telling you, ये करो, वो मत करो, अरे अभी क्या करोगे, अभी तुम्हारी उम्र क्या है, अभी तुम्हारा. No, कभी उम्र बहुत छोटी होगी, कभी उम्र बहुत बड़ी होगी. So nobody else can tell you that, because only you have to have the power and strength to see that journey through, number one. And number two, what I really feel is important is, like I said, that because it is about Ma Lakshmi, about the little changes that we all can do in the society by doing a bit of a charity. You know, that is the second thing. In fact, I'm very happy to, use even Pink Villa and this beautiful auspicious day to announce even the launch of my own foundation, which is Urmila for You Foundation. Through that, I intend to take it on a much bigger platform, because I feel I can't just depend on a politics or political career to further that. So these things that I'm doing at the core of it is women and children and their education.
They say that joy of giving, it's priceless.
Absolutely.
Right? So I think
and it's something that I have personally gone through, and that is why I can speak so passionately about it. So when people do it even in a little iota, they will probably hopefully understand and
do their bit. You know, while we're talking about wealth, a very important topic that I want to discuss is pay disparity, right? At least right now in this age, there is a discussion, there's a conversation that's happening around pay disparity. But back then, when you started out, it was unheard of, right? So if you ever, I don't know if you have, but if you ever went and asked for equal pay, were you judged?
No, I didn't ask for equal pay, because to be honest, there were a couple of times when I was paid more than that.
Okay, lovely.
So I have no such complaints. And honestly, pay disparity is a very, very important and valid point today. But it shouldn't be, again, looked from one perspective only. There are times when a male actor is putting in far more days and time, and you're doing an action film in which I have hardly had any work. So I really thought it would be unfair just because I'm a woman, mujhe bhi utne paise chahiye. Yes, my name was probably as big. That's why I was casted, because they still needed like a big name. But I gave way lesser time and way lesser efforts than, let's say, my co-star put in, because he was doing an action, also action in the movie, and his probably screen time was better, therefore the number of days were better. So I don't think it needs to be seen from only one perspective. But yes, apart from films, there are many other fields also in which if these things exist, like especially in media for that matter, I think it's completely wrong. As a matter of fact, women in media need to be paid way more than men. Like I see after especially getting into politics, these women journalists out there, I mean, they are working in really difficult conditions. And for a woman to be standing there, and they get their job done probably better than most men, because somewhere down the line people do give by to women journalists, but they have to put in really a lot of hard work with so in difficult conditions, extreme heat, rains and blah blah. So they probably need to be paid even a little bit more. So it can't be just because you're a woman, you should be paid as much, or because you're a woman, you should be paid lesser.
Yeah, it's all about the efforts that we put in.
Yes, it's all about where and how a person is positioned as well, and the amount of efforts that are going into it.
Absolutely. You mentioned that it's not just the society judging us, but other women also judge us, right? And sometimes, you're being judged based on your color, the way you dress, the way you look, and sometimes also on our choices and opinions, right? Yeah. So how do we overcome these challenges as a commoner?
I just feel, I know it's easier said than done, but every woman needs to have a tremendous strength within themselves. Then only they can reflect it onto others, and they can stand by. And I want to say, if you have strong opinions and you're a woman, you need to be ready to pay a price for it. It does come with a price. I mean, unfortunately, that's the thing that we are still battling, that if you have a voice, it does come. And like you rightly said, not necessarily that other women will stand by you. There have been times in my own profession of film and etc., or in politics, that I have not necessarily agreed with other women, but I have applauded them for just their journey and for being where they are. But yes, there are a lot of things that I don't, stand by in their opinions and in their thoughts. But like I said, that on a larger perspective, I am all applaud for them for the sheer efforts that they must have put in their journey.
Yeah, we are progressing, but there's a long way to go.
Indeed.
When women reach a certain age, people say that get married and settle down, right? And the term settle down is so broad. Like for different people, it means different. So in your words, what does settling down mean?
So settling down, first of all, means settling down mentally. You know that what you want. And it is the same, I'm sorry, for men and women. I see a lot of men also not ready to get married, or a lot of women also not ready to get married. Like, I used to find it growing up again a very weird thing that, you know, I felt I have so much more to do with my life. And oh no, coming from a basic middle class family which had nothing to do with film industry, दूर तक, with being an actor factor तो कुछ दिमाग में था नहीं, तो प्लीज गेट दैट आउट ऑफ योर माइंड कि कुछ मुझे हीरोइन बनना था, ऐसा कुछ था, वो तो मैं घर में बोल भी नहीं सकती थी बिकॉज मेरे घर में कोई था ही नहीं फिल्मों से. But even in terms of my education and all, I thought I have something to do, you know, I'm much more to do than all these things. So in fact, even starting in a relationship doesn't have to be this. I want to tell all the young girls, you don't have to have a boyfriend to think you're cool and you're happening, you know, just explore your lives. There is just so much out there. Just understand. And today the world has become like this, you know, because of internet, because of social media, so much it's available out there.
Yeah.
तो पहले अपनी personality को तो निखारो और समझो, फिर boyfriends, this, that, I mean, everything just becomes so, और कुछ दिखता ही नहीं है और कुछ समझता ही नहीं है, तो जिंदगी उससे कई बड़ी होती है, बट ये समझने तक बहुत देर हो चुकी होती है. तो not that me or anybody else telling them that will help them, but trust me girls, I mean, yes, having boyfriend and eventually husband and children and all are great, but पहले अपने आप को समझो, क्या करना है वो समझो. Who are you? Understand that first. What is it that you want? Earlier, women didn't have that choice. Today they do. Today parents are understanding. I myself got married rather late in life because I respect the institute of marriage. So मुझे ऐसे लगता था कि जब करनी है, जहाँ करनी है, वो सोच के और सही वजहों से करनी चाहिए, ना कि भाई अब तो ये उम्र है अब शादी करो. Who told you? Even a choice of a woman of having children has to be left up to the woman. Let's get it square and clear. There are many women who want to get married only so they can have children. There are a lot of them who want children but don't want to get married. Yeah. But coming to the regular scene where the women are married, the decision has to be of the couples together as to when they should have children. If a woman should have a child, also should be her decision. And first of all, let's understand that it can be a decision not to have children of a couple together or of a woman. Doesn't have to be that there is anything physiologically wrong or right with a person. It can be taken for other reasons. So we have come to a point in life where a society overall needs to understand these needs of the time, you know, and they don't have to be labeled as selfish, self-centered, what you call it, the ones who can't conceive, the ones whatever. No, it can be a decision taken for a certain reasons by a certain couples. That's it. So let's understand the choices women are given today, and women, it's your chance to make the most of it. So don't miss out on that.
That is so true. I can totally relate with that. Lastly, you know, they say that real queens are those who fix each other's crowns without telling them that they are crooked, right? And you are the perfect example for that.
No, I have always believed in that, right from my childhood. And I'm like my school girlfriends group, we are still in touch, and they are all in different somebody is a principal, somebody is an electronic engineer, we are all in different spheres of life. But I think the women who are very confident and secure in their own zone will never even think about it. Like you said, that they fix each other's crowns without telling the others that it was crooked to begin with. So that beauty comes out of deep innate strength and belief in oneself. So the women that I don't see doing that, I'd like to tell them that there's something wrong, first of all, within yourselves. So I would only request you very, very empathetically that first fix that, because life is too beautiful. And yes, therefore we need to feel the beauty within ourselves first, and then you automatically just graciously pass it on to everyone else.
Yeah. On that note, how do you think we should celebrate this beautiful gift that we've got, womanhood?
I honestly think by living it to the bestest possibilities. Women, being a woman to me is a beautiful mixture of having epitome of strength and having tremendous vulnerability And mind you, it is the vulnerability that makes the strength more important. It is the vulnerability that makes the strength really look like a strength, because the vulnerabilities, take it out of the equation, the whole beauty is spoiled. Because we are vulnerable, we can reach to those heights with human side intact, you know. So that's the beauty of being a woman. So keep your emotions guarded, but keep them very much as a part of your whole journey. I mean, you know, it is my emotions, it is my passion, it is my vulnerability, which has been with me all throughout. अगर मुझ में vulnerability नहीं होती तो मेरी growth ही रुक जाती, मुझे लगता है. So vulnerability comes, like today, if I feel so much about the women who are out there on the streets of Mumbai or anywhere in Maharashtra or India, I feel that because of my vulnerability deep inside, जिस दिन वो गई सब कुछ गया, फिर वो strength किस काम की? So it is the beauty of keeping the emotion and strength both together, hands in hand.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was an honor for me to talk to you and truly said that you are super empowered, but it's so lovely to see that you're empowering others.
Thank you
right?
so
and
much.
I'm so inspired
Thank
today.
you.
Thank
and
you
may
so
God
much.
give me the strength to just keep doing that more than anything else.
Always.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
नवरात्रि के इस शुभ अवसर पर माँ दुर्गा, माँ काली, सबकी कृपा आप पर हमेशा बने रहे, आप पर, हम पर और सब पर. Happy Navratri. Have a great Navratri. Have a blast. If you like this video, like, share, comment, and of course, subscribe to Pink Villa.
Pink Villa. Look no further.